We're going live, guys, and we got a crew here, and we got a show for you. Let's do it. I didn't check to see if we're online. I didn't pull my other stuff up.
That's not important.
We'll just it's not important. Just there might be people out there on Periscope. There might be. There usually isn't, but
real quick, want to test something. Can you can see my screen okay there?
More or less.
Or not?
Tilt it upwards a little bit more. Because I was getting a lot of reflection. I can see. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed, but yeah, further away.
It's the sky and.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a photo. Okay.
I can see that. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. 5:03. Yeah, I didn't update that part right. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to restart this because we'll go here. Chat room. There. Hey, guys. Why does that say music? Why does it say music's going out? Oh, there we go. Hey guys, it's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the quarantine central of Sorgatron Media, right here in Pittsburgh, PA, and we got a show with you. We got a crew for you tonight. First of all, joining us is the Dutters back on the show again tonight, back after a week hiatus. Good to see you.
Nice to see everybody too. Studio what, C? Or wait, which
your Studio D.
In the big C.
With the big C, yes.
Ooh, and then today I'm with, I love this one.
What's that?
I can't wait for this one. You got the big
Oh yeah,
P.
We got the big P in the Dave Podnar is with us. How you doing, Dave?
No, guys. How you doing tonight?
So you're the big P and the big I don't know where you're at.
Well, I'm the big P and the PH.
Okay, the big P to the PH. Wait, this is starting to sound like a rap song. I like this.
P to the PH. That's it.
Yes.
P squared H.
Of course, Prof Pod on the social medias and the Tiny Shutter podcast. Good to have you back on. Thank you for dropping in the last minute.
Glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
John, the Chilla is of course on a special assignment, a last minute special assignment going on, so we'll hope to have him back again next week. But this is the AwesomeCast. Please check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can subscribe to the podcast on all your podcast players, of course. Hit us up at awesomecast at sorgatronmedia.com, AwesomeCast on the Twitter, the AwesomeCast Facebook page, and definitely follow the AwesomeCast Facebook group, because that's where a lot of the great discussions have been happening. A lot of stories are shared throughout the week, so please hop in there and be a part of that and part of that discussion. A lot of the stories that we put in through the week, there's been a lot of commentary on, kind of helps inform kind of some of the stuff that we talk about here when we get around to the show. So please go check that out. Also, if you're watching us here live, 7 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday, on across all of the AwesomeCast social medias, we're over on the YouTube, we're on the Periscope, and of course over here on Facebook Live. If you're there, please give a like, give a share, give a heart, whatever the case may be, so people can find us while we're going live right now, of course. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, our ever-growing list of Patreon supporters, patreon.com/awesomecast, our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Welly, Keller, John DeGore, John Carmen, and at our fan of the show levels, Michael Fedor, pghmuseums.org, Professor Buzzkill, go check out his podcast, and Dave Podnar, of course, of the Tiny Shutter podcast, all contributing to the show. Thank you, everybody who is contributing to the show. It really means a lot, especially with all the craziness going on these days. We can at least pay our podcasting fees. You guys can support the show, too, at patreon.com/awesomecast. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. And Katie, let's start with you because it's been a week. We need what is going on in the world of Animal Crossing. I can't
Awesome
even.
Animal Crossing?
I can't even, Awesome Animal Crossing. What's going on over there? Because I see weird stuff on the internet, man.
Well, now we have the ability to jump into the water.
Yay!
We can swim. And it's been a lot of fun. And the big thing that I've been doing is there's the ability to get you go in the water, you put on a wetsuit. You have to put on a wetsuit. That's the only way you can enter the water.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you put on your wetsuit. And you can either walk in at the beach level or you can jump off rocks. Or there's some people who are building massive ramps to jump off of into the water, which is super cool. I haven't done that yet. And you get to swim and you'll see little shadows under the water and you dive down and you're able to find things like prawn. And it's a bunch of terrible, like there's pineapple. I forget, it's like some sort of pineapple anemone. But there's this sea anemone, and it's like an enemy of my enemy is my frenemy. They're horrible. Like the puns are just awful.
Oh no.
Oh, they're terrible. There's one, oh gosh, the jellyfish, and you're looking the moon jellyfish. So now all you have to find is the sun peanut butter fish. Yeah. They're just terrible. Like this Animal Crossing is just full of terrible puns that never go away. Like every time you catch this animal, you're seeing the same pun over and over.
It's just all there is to it. Oh no. Oh no. You think they'd vary it a little bit. So I think I don't know what this person is doing. Oh, they're sunbathing apparently in this video in the article you sent here.
You got all kinds of options. People are customizing their beachside and their diving boards and their beach area. And so you can, one of the other things you can find are pearls to make mermaid furniture. So that's been my recent quest for my niece because she wants all the mermaid furniture, of course, and which I don't blame her. It's pretty cute. And so I've been diving for pearls. And there's also a otter named Pascal. And Pascal also has some very horrible puns, but he's looking for, everybody has terrible puns in this game. It's amazing. And he's looking for these specific type of shell, and when you give him the scallop shell, he will give you a mermaid recipe for furniture or a pearl. And I'm currently in the process of just receiving pearl after pearl from Pascal and no new mermaid furniture, so I'm kind of at a little standstill with my friend Pascal, but it's okay. Having fun, enjoying the water. It's really actually very calming to swim in the water because it sounds like water when you're kind of splishing in it, and then the water's so clear, especially on nice days on your island, and it's like, this is nice. It's kind of like mimicking being by the beach.
I love it, and I love that half of the tweets that are in here are videos of just people diving into the water. So
it's fun. I think I was laughing harder when I was showing my niece that you could dive into the water than she was. I was like, look at this.
It's a nice replacement since we can't all go to the pool right now. So exactly. We can at least, just spray yourself with water and jump into the Animal Crossing pool, right?
Yeah, and put the really coconutty smelling sunscreen on.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen the sun in 4 months, but I'm going to smell like I have.
Exactly.
With a heat lamp. Just put yourself under a heat lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So everybody's been swimming for the last couple of weeks, huh?
Yeah, so I'm in great shape.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Oh man, so Animal Crossing continues to grow. Podnar, what do you got going on?
Sure. I got a little bit of a follow-up from something that was posted around a month ago, where Photoshop put out a free and still free iPhone, at least it may be in the Android store. I'm not familiar with Android, sorry, but a free iPhone app where it's Photoshop Camera. So this is a I don't want to say dumbed down version of what Photoshop can do, but I tried using Photoshop a couple times, and admittedly, it was a few years ago, but it completely overwhelmed me.
It's
literally,
it's
and kind of relating to something else that's geeky. When I learned to program years ago, it was before object-oriented programming and everything else. So, you learn on Fortran or whatever, and then you're like, oh, here's a new modern language. You're like, huh? For me, Photoshop's the same way. It's like, okay, I can do some editing in photos, but you got with this and what no, and overwhelm old brain here. The Photoshop camera, though, it doesn't give you a lot of controls. So it's kind of limited on what you can do. But one thing that I really like, it does have an automatic make pretty feature where you just kind of import a photo in. You can either take it in the app or import it in. And it just kind of makes some minor corrections, and it gives you a few little extra, but not as much as maybe others. But it does give you some really creative stuff. Now, this is just a average photo of kind of my backyard and it's kind of hard to see here, but just some clouds in the background there.
Okay, we'll see it.
But it now gives you the ability to like swap the sky out without having to, and it automatically masks everything. So you have to worry about, and it doesn't give you the ability to, but you don't have to. Animal Crossing there. You don't have to mask out what the sky and what isn't the sky there. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm looking and see how it's there. But you can also do really weird, unusual stuff, like put some fantasy backgrounds or fantasy sky in.
So so you have
like a little video or photo out of that.
Yeah, you have like little CG clouds and a moon that pops up in the background there, and it actually kind of reacts to it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that you do get a limited amount that they download with the app, but you can download more at no cost.
Okay.
So it isn't a matter of we're going to give you some and you have to pay. Now, you do have to have a free login for Adobe, but you don't have to pay for it.
Oh, so you don't need to have a Creative Suite or you just need to have a login with them. So they're just capturing your email at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. They figured that this is literally the free sample before they figure they get you for the money.
Okay.
But like on July 4th, I went up and just took a picture of my house from the back, and this is before any fireworks or anything else. But I just kind of put in let's see if we can.
Oh, fireworks!
And basically, all you do is select the scene from what they call lens from down below. And you can just kind of slide over and go, okay, now I want, the same thing. All I did was slide over a little bit there. And let me see, wait for it to adjust. So you kind of have a scene. So you can do some really unusual creative things here,
too. Now, can you take those kind of creative scenes and do those post as like an anime GIF or a video file if you want to put them on something?
It posted the video.
The video file.
The video, yeah. It's around a 5-second video they give you.
So I was just checking real quick to see if they mentioned kind of how they're doing this. According to the description on the App Store, the Photoshop camera is packed with AI powered features that help you take and then just a bunch of buzzwords. So it is that they are doing aren't they doing a lot of machine learning? Like there's a lot of like server side stuff that we've talked about in the past. So this may be kind of an extension of that as well. So
honestly, given the speed of how quickly this does,
you think it's on device?
I think it's on device because I'm literally just as I'm scrolling, it's as fast as my thumb scrolls, it renders. So this does not feel like there was it a couple years ago, the Prism app for the iPhone, which did do it on a server where you clicked it and you waited 2-3 seconds for it to upload, do the processing, come back down. Unless they're really got that much quicker where it's almost instantaneous, but it does not feel like a lag at all.
That's awesome.
And it's an iPhone 10, so it's a 3-year-old. It's still not slow, but it's not the newest of the new, which like the new iPhone when it comes out in a couple months is going to blow pretty much speed-wise everything away. So, which they tend to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's Photoshop Camera. It's free. The downloads are free. You just got to sign up for an Adobe account.
Exactly.
I'm sure you're going to get emails to be bugged to upgrade to Photoshop and everything else. And there's a lot of apps actually that get free include with Photoshop, like the Spark apps that are always really great for making little social media posts. Those I think if you're on Creative Cloud, it'll take away the little Adobe mark in the corner or something. So
and Spark.
The Spark logo in the corner.
Okay. Yeah. The weird thing is this one doesn't even have any photo. To be honest, I haven't. It could be they went into spam somewhere, but I haven't gotten emailed, and there's no watermark on these photos.
Give it time. Give it time.
Oh, I know.
They'll come around to you. Look, you're on a list somewhere.
Trust me, I know.
So mine is I got to set something up, and I know Chilla's talked about this function for a while. But I played with it a little bit, and spent a little more time at home, and I got an air conditioner basically in my bedroom, and that's about it. Thankfully, it hasn't been so hot around here these days. So I was like, well, I need to set something up so I can just hang in my bedroom if I'm under the weather, or if it gets too hot out, and I really just need, and I don't want to come to the office where there's air conditioning, necessarily, and because then I'm just going to work on stuff instead of just hanging out, right? So I played with setting up with my the old 4th gen i5 laptop, and I got it working and updated everything, and it's been working with the Xbox Companion app. And it is streaming Xbox One to the laptop. And then I had an extra TV because we're not using all the extra TVs for on-location streaming anymore. So it's been in my house for a while. And threw that in the bedroom, hooked up my laptop to it, and now I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey from the Xbox downstairs to my bedroom, and it mostly works. I was playing pretty extensively. Every once in a while, it gets a little choppy and needs to catch up a little bit. Also, like, there's no internet like on my floor. Like, everything's coming from the basement. So I think that's part of any issues that I have. I think I really do need to get an Eero or something and kind of expand that up if I'm going to do more of that streaming kind of setup. But it's been pretty cool. So if you have like an extra computer you can hook up to a TV in a spare room, you don't need to unhook your Xbox and take it up there. Like, you can just use this in order to do that. Like I say, I was playing some of that. I've been playing some Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon up there. So like pretty Twitch games, right? Trying a little bit of the street fighting games, not street fighting, but fighting games like Injustice. And Mortal Kombat, and just to see how they function. Those are the big Twitch tests for me. The biggest issue I have is I think the TV already has an off-synced audio to it that I've noticed in the past, and it's just you feel a little kludginess to reaction and sounds and like that. So it was a pretty cool setup. I just saw Cattail just walk across in front of Podnar off camera. Like a cameo. Sorry. But no, I definitely recommend that if you got an Xbox One. And I don't know if the PlayStation has like comparable features, but I'm definitely enjoying. I'm getting a lot of that old a lot out of that old 1st gen Xbox One at this point. So, no, it's nice to kind of do that and say, hey, I don't want to be in the living room anymore, and literally just pause my game and start back up upstairs at this point. So that was kind of that's my awesome thing of the week, is getting that set up and getting that working pretty good. So, so with that, I want to give a shout out to our friends. Didn't get to visit them this week because of stuff going on, but give a shout out to our friends that have been supporting this podcast for a good long time. Our friends at Slice on Broadway, 4 locations in the Pittsburgh area, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, PNC Park. Please go check them out. Let them know the AwesomeCast sent you, and thank you everybody that's been supporting them throughout all these crazy times. So thank you. Check out our friends, sliceonbroadway.com. All right, so we did have a story that Amanda, our friend from Bold Pittsburgh, check out the new podcast over there, boldpgh.com, and this was some big news here. So apparently SiriusXM is buying Stitcher for $325 million. Should I hold the pinky up for that one? But in Stitcher, I'm sorry, SiriusXM, one other than like both of them combined, I think they already bought Pandora. And I remember Stitcher being bought previously. So this is at least their second purchaser, I guess, at this point. What do you guys think of this as far as the podcast landscape goes? Katie?
I think like as far as this is wild to me that it's just like all these companies are buying the podcast now. And I have both Sirius on my phone and Pandora, because I've curated my Pandora to a point that I'm not comfortable giving it up yet.
All those years, all that time you put into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been. I feel like it's been like almost 10 years.
But
it's Sirius. I like that this will be incorporated into Sirius because of I haven't really found something else that I like listening to podcasts on my iPhone. Like if they can incorporate this seamlessly into the Sirius app, I'll be excited. Like bringing the ability to like bring these other podcasts in, because I don't know. Like it's kind of a mess with things on podcasts on iPhones, I think. At least for me.
What are you using now for podcasts? Are you using the podcast app?
Yeah, I'm using the podcast app. And
okay.
You're like, ugh, there's so much available.
Oh yeah, I use the podcast app because I figure, for me, it's kind of dog fooding. It's like I want to know what the experience is like for the general population.
Yeah.
Right. I want to make sure it's at least working there when I go into the. Although I'm kind of tempted to start. I downloaded Google Podcasts on the iPhone, and I kind of like that setup.
Really?
And yeah, and I think it talks a little bit more to my Google Homes that I throw podcasts on in the morning and everything, and while I'm cooking. So that might be, if I go anywhere, or maybe the ones I tend to throw on Google Home, I'll throw on that app. So I check it out. The Google Podcast app is kind of nice, actually. So far, minimal use, not the day-to-day. Podnar, what do you think about this?
I would say more money is good for podcasting, because the quality, the talent getting some money, maybe, but my concern is, and we're going to have this person exclusively on Stitcher, or this podcast exclusively on Stitcher. See, that's more my concern there, that because that's, it's kind of like what they did with Howard Stern, where, you want to see Howard, come exclusively on, you can't get him any other way. It's like, I don't like. That's the only thing that concerns me.
And you're seeing that with Joe Rogan, and everybody wants that content play, and for the high end podcasts, I think you're going to see that more. As long as there's money to throw around, you're going to see that more. As long as people think that that's the thing that's going to get people coming to their platform.
I mean, I don't know. I use the Apple Podcast app because really, when I started to listen to podcasts, there wasn't really many other podcast apps out there. And I couldn't figure an easy way to just kind of export all the podcasts I subscribe to. Yeah. Because I really don't listen to radio. TV is really limited on what I normally watch. Certain channels I won't watch for my blood pressure, news. So most of my thing, especially working from home or when I run, I listen to podcast. So I'm also listening most of the time at 2x speed.
Yeah.
But I listen to hours and hours of podcasts a day, and I don't want to go through the effort of exporting or, now I have to find, which I know this is how, they get you and keep you. But I don't want to go out and find, where is, AwesomeCast? Where's Mayhem Show? Where's the Morning Stream? Where's Tiny Shutter on these other services? Let me subscribe to them through here and rebuild my list manually.
Well, and that's basically the only way you can do it. Thankfully, in most of those cases, if you're listening to podcasts, like I would still say most podcasts are going to be across platforms.
Right.
And I know for us, it's always like, I don't know what platforms are out there that I'm missing that we're not on. but we try to. Remember, I used to say the list on this show: Sticker, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and I'm sure I said a couple other ones along with there, right? But that seems to be the top 5 that anybody's going to be on. And some would argue, because I don't think iTunes is the only be all anymore that it used to be. I think it's so. Wait, Katie, so you were talking about your SiriusXM Pandora thing. Like, are you using Sirius like typically in car on via phone kind of situation too, like kind of in tandem with your Pandora, or?
I don't have it. Like, my mom's car has the Sirius. Like, I'm actually that's why I have it's on her. She shares her account with me on my phone.
Okay.
So I'm using it there. I don't. It's Sirius on your phone. Is very similar, has all the channels, so you can pick your favorite channels and have those, but it also has some mixed stations. Like, there's a couple workout stations I listen to, or if there's a particular like genre of music, it's a separate thing. It's more like the streaming music, and you could skip songs versus like having to listen to the Sirius station straight through with the commercials. So you kind of have both of those options available to you.
Nice. So it kind of expands that out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. But there's not the customization of Pandora, which, like I said, I've got a couple of these playlists that I'm like, this is perfect. I'm not messing with this.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that they kind of combine. Well, this is going to keep happening. I just, like I said, Stitcher was already purchased by somebody else. It's either that or, and I think didn't I see that SiriusXM also has a share of SoundCloud? I think when people were talking about it today, I caught offhand. So it's interesting. So it's going to keep going. Hey, it's a good way for SiriusXM to stay relevant too, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that just I want to watch radio, right? But like people just say I got to have like the cable package for my TV. But it really does kind of expand that out for them too. So we'll see how that goes. Dave, you had another. Go ahead.
I just looked up out of curiosity for Stitcher. They were purchased by EW Script. No, EW Script purchased someone in 2015. They purchased Stitcher from Deezer for $4.5 million in 2016. They rebranded, and then Sirius bought them from EW Script for the $325 million.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what that says for a company to be passed along so much. Like what does that say? You're desirable, but I don't know.
Almost like Yahoo. Not as bad, but no, I'm saying Yahoo. In terms of the name recognition versus, well, we can do something with it. Oh, we can make money off of it. We can do this. No, we'll see if someone can buy the name off of us.
I listened to an interview with Katie Couric. I can't remember where it was in the last week, and she was talking about like that era of Yahoo. It was like, yeah, we were trying something different, and it scratched an itch at the time. It's like, okay. Dave, you have another story in here, a video that Apple did.
Yeah. So Apple had admittedly, Apple mostly still consumer, or I think really you either have the consumer side, which is their bulk of their volume, or you have their high-end kind of graphic side. Mm-hmm. And if you're in a quote-unquote normal office, you're using Windows because you're probably using Excel. Or Google Docs or something. You're normally not using. So they're putting out videos, and I understand 100%. It's marketing, but how Apple can be used at work, and this is more of Apple being used to work at home. Mm-hmm. And it's a little long. It's 7 minutes long, so it's longer than your average commercial. But it is.
Who are they targeting with this thing? At 7 minutes.
That's the thing. I don't know, but for a bunch of us who do work from home, and I've been working from home since mid-March. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm fighting the cat from biting the cables in front of me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's occasionally, but it's kind of
coworkers suck. I get it.
Yeah, and it's the whole, and they're not really push. This is similar to a few years ago when they were pushing the one video where the kid's making the Christmas video, where it's not like overhead. They're not hitting you over the head with Apple products. or saying, oh, only Apple can do this, but they're using Apple products in the background. It's a team trying to work together to solve a problem where the boss all of a sudden says, oh, by the way, that thing that you guys had weeks to work on, we're having to do it now. Okay. Oh, I'm off. Bye. Talk to you later. So it's them,
and it's just this story is happening, and everybody just happens to be on Apple products.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's everyone working from home, and they even have a shot where one guy's working from home. He stands up and he said, hey, sit down. You only have shorts on. Sit down. And they're all FaceTiming.
I love seeing that this one girl is like doing yoga as she's like on her phone conducting the meeting apparently during this. So
it's just something that's just, to me, it was just so recognizable, especially in the end when they're all getting ready for the big presentation. They said, okay, everyone, is everyone wearing pants right now?
Yeah, I think I just got that section.
Yeah.
Katie, this part of the video, there's a girl on a bouncy ball, and it reminds me of when you used to come to the studio, actually. So like it's let's see if they go back to her on this, but because she keeps bouncing up and down in the middle of this meeting while she's eating like, I don't know, celery or something. I'm just wow. So
it's so recognizable. I thought it just came across. It was just so recognizable for so many people.
Been
just
there,
having to deal with stuff.
Been there. You broke me when everybody went to their Apple Mail.
Yeah.
That's where you lost me a little bit. I was like, oh, that's unrealistic. Who's doing that? So I mean, in a business setting, or like, am I wrong? Tell me if I am, but I don't think typically that's something that's happening.
No,
right?
No. As far as I know, if you're still using Outlook.
Yeah.
In a large corporate situation, or a smaller one, you're using a Gmail account or something like that.
Yeah. It seems to kind of. I keep forgetting it's on there. I wish I could uninstall it. Can you uninstall it? Maybe.
Apple Mail?
Yeah, Apple Mail on my Mac, just so it doesn't accidentally
on your Mac.
When I accidentally click something, I'm like, oh God! Like if you open Apple Mail, and then the problem is because you closed Apple Mail, but it kept whatever you opened and whoever you're trying to send an email to, because the link came through from a mail to link. And it defaulted for whatever reason, and then eventually, if you've had your Mac for so many years, Katie, you had a Mac for a very long time. See if this sounds right. And then like eventually, like you'll get chugged down because your Apple Mail is opening like all the tens of attempted emails that it's tried to put through and start, and now you have like 20 windows up because you accidentally hit the wrong mail to link that defaulted over to them instead of over to your Gmail or something, and the world is upside down.
As soon as I see that little guy bouncing at the bottom, I'm like, son of a gun. This is gonna be a minute.
Like, here we go, and it's like that bounce. It's like it's the bounce of dread, isn't it? Yeah. Like there's doom scrolling, but now there's like the dread bounce of that only Apple people that have had their Mac for a while know of. Like this thing only has 4 megs of RAM and 4 gigs of 4 gigs of RAM, and it's from 2012, and it's a MacBook Air. I am screwed. I have or in your case has Hello Kitty duct tape holding it together. So
I'm gonna go grab a snack. By the time I get back, we might be caught up.
Yeah. It was like, well, we're gonna hold this meeting for about 10 minutes now. Apple pains. But anyways, so while we are all wrestling with technology, there's we're helping a lot of people out of their technological situations or proceed in this. I mean, we're all adapting over the last several months, still adapting to things going on as we kind of, for the foreseeable future, kind of figure out where this is going to be. But we've been doing the same thing here. Sidekick Media Services. Let's be the sidekick in your superhero project. Everything from helping to set up some live streaming situations for some churches to conducting. We're actually conducting another panel with Yajagoff tomorrow night about racial justice. So please go check that out at 6:30 p.m. on Yajagoff's Facebook page with a lot of great partners, including Furzy. Am I saying his name right? Furzy? I met him once. Katie knows him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Frizzy. Thank you.
Frizzy.
Thank you. There's a lot
I forgot I was muted.
There's a lot of letters in there Frizzy, awesome dude. I got to film him having a snow cone in the park on the north side last year. So a lot of great conversations going to happen there. One of the great things that we're helping out with here with Sidekick Media Services, Sorgatron Media, housed within the Sorgatron Media, going on. It's quiet in here, but we're making a lot of noise on the internet. So go check out what's going on at sidekickmediaservices.com. All right, back at the book here. I got a few stories where Dave and I were actually talking about a couple of these before the show, just doing some last minute kind of check-ins with things. And apparently I closed my dock, so that is not going to happen. One of the interesting things that was a part of this, Amazon is going to have a new grocery store in Woodland Hills in Los Angeles, apparently. And it's going to feature, we're familiar with the Amazon Go stores, correct? Like where it's all the sensors and cameras, and they see you pick up the thing off the shelf and you walk out because you checked in yourself with the app, and then it'll just take it out of your Amazon account. So this is going to be another version of this. I believe it's called, and I'll double check that in just a moment, the Amazon Dash Cart. And the idea is, instead of retrofitting an entire store, and of course it's going to be a bigger grocery store that they're aiming to do, you put all of that technology in the shopping cart itself. So again, you've checked in this cart with a QR code to your Amazon account. It has everything from cameras, sensors, and a built-in scale that's going to work out a person's purchases, and then it deducts the total from the cart associated with your Amazon account. This is not going to be a Whole Foods. This is not going to be an Amazon Go store. This is going to be a whole new Amazon grocery store that they're going to be piloting in the Los Angeles area. So I'm not that I haven't gone grocery shopping physically in a while myself, but back when we used to. What do you guys think about this concept, about that kind of centralized on the cart, Katie?
I think it's great because you're going to be, especially with everything going on now, you're just going to be like, do my thing, walk out the door, done, see you later. This is also the person you're talking to me who went to Rite Aid for the first time, leaving the house, and I can't tell you how long, walked to the door and was like, yeah, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not used to being in public.
You're not... You haven't adopted that that self-preservation strategy yet.
No, I haven't gone to a store, and I couldn't tell you how long, and I walked in, and I was like, oh, wait. This is... Like, and I wear a mask everywhere else I go in public, or whenever I go to the hospital and stuff. It was so wild, but yeah. So this is. I think it's great for, like, if we're gonna be into this place where we don't have to. Well, that's also nice if you don't like talking to cashiers too. Like, if you just want to get out and go, because I had a long night.
Don't have to deal with that. Well, even I have some friends that some family who works at Walmart. I think it was them that was talking about this at Walmart, where people will wear their mask through the entire store, but as soon as they come up to to talk to somebody at the cashiers, they're taking their mask off to talk to you. And just like, wait. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. That's not. So I guess that's why the plastic's there. What about you, Dave? What do you think about this concept?
I mean, I like the idea behind it. I'm just thinking in terms of it going out to many places, where I can see this being in places that would also have, maybe LA's different from around here, but Whole Foods tend to be in, I hate to say, certain areas.
Woodland Hills sounds like a certain area to me.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we don't worry about people stealing from us, obviously, because look at the area we're in. We won't have that issue. And I like the technology, but I'm also thinking, I hate to say it. I mean, this is old man of me coming out, but it's like, oh, here's this great new technology, which is going to change everything. Oh, you wanted to put it in an area where the average income is under $30,000. Oh, we've done the research. Yeah, our store can't go there. And, and I hate to be that way, but, and also, honestly, this is really similar to what Sam's Club has in their app. Because I can go into Sam's Club. Now, admittedly, someone has to, see me flash my card, which also they use now to keep track of how many people are in the store. since they now track how many in and out.
Yes.
But I can go in, I can use the app on the phone. I scan the barcode. So it gives me a running total, and I just swipe my thumb against it, and it either uses a debit card or a credit card, and I can check out.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I have to do is when I leave the door is someone scans my QR code and then scans one object, and then I leave.
So that's wild, because Sheets started doing this around when everything started getting locked down too, where I can go in and use in the app, like you can, they call it scan because it's Sheets, of course. So I'll order something like for pickup, and then like, okay, well, I'm going to go grab, like last minute, hey, let's grab some Gatorades or something. So I'll go in, grab some candy bars, some Gatorades, do the thing on my phone. It's like you're good to go, and you walk out. Nobody's checking you, and I think that's maybe the comparison point there, right, Dave? Because if anything's going to be a shopliftable place, it's going to be a Sheets versus a Whole Foods-ish kind of thing.
Exactly.
I think that's an inherent kind of thing. Also, I imagine if you go in, grab a cart, and you haven't like checked in with the cart, I think you're going to find a Sam's Club situation where there's not people hanging around that aren't checked in to, or if they are, you can't tell me there's not going to be security keeping an eye on that person, because that's a level of suspicion if you're not following the code. Right. So, I mean, I like the idea, but I also know when Amazon announces something, it tends to get a lot of press. Because I remember, and I picked this from Daily Tech News Show a while back, where Amazon said, look, we're doing deliveries by drone. And they said, this has been happening in Africa for the last year. Yeah. But we understand Amazon makes the big news. Like you said, Sheets is, I mean, other than using an app on your phone, and I hate to say it, I'd rather have an app on my phone than have Amazon have a ton of sensors in a cart, watching me that way. Really? Because now Sheets can follow you anywhere, you realize. But I can turn that off a lot easier on my phone. You can. You can now. That is true. Yeah. I would say, especially, I don't know, like I said, I'm in the iOS world, but I can do and it gives you a little pop-up saying, by the way, this thing is following you. It does. Do you want to keep using it, or only when you're using the app? I can say only when using the app. And I noticed if you don't turn it off, like McDonald's is very egregious about tracking you well after your order. So it's like I'm like a half hour away. I'm just like, why is McDonald's still like blinking at the top of my phone? And you don't know it's because you're driving and went through the drive-thru and whatnot. But so I'm interested to see how that goes. I mean, this is all piloting and but I like, this could be a thing where Amazon, like this cart technology can be, instead of retrofitting an entire store, this can eventually be dropped into your local Shop and Save or a Walmart or something. Maybe it's licensed technology. Maybe it is an Amazon partnership or something, and getting a long conversation about Amazon taking over, of course, but still, but I think ideally when you think about the expansion side of it, I think it makes a lot more sense. Oh, no, agreed. Anything you can do smaller and cheaper can spread a lot than we're going to retrofit this new whatever. Yeah, it's have to build new. Absolutely. It's just kind of changing the access point there. So, Katie, did you see the trailer for the Sims reality show? By chance? No, I haven't yet. Okay. All right, Katie. Get ready for this. So we were Dave and I were watching and listening to this beforehand, and so you know how you got baking shows where you have the team of people and they have to go make something, whether as a team or individually. Imagine that, but you need to create like your Sims character and scenarios in the Sims. Oof. Okay, all right, yeah. You got me. Okay. Yeah. Now people, and apparently at some point they get on teams and like it gets emotional because they're creating these like stories with the Sims. And they're not like just pulling the ladder out of the pools or. No, but apparently that's something you can do because you're creating the scenario. So we know where you're gonna go if you get on this show. Hello. So It's gonna be it's hold on, I'm gonna pull the name here real quick. So it is called Sparked. The Sims Sparked is the name of it. It's going to be on, I believe, TBS from what I saw. And man, I'm at least watching an episode of this. So, wait, and it's part of made in collaboration with BuzzFeed Multiplayer, which is also the E-League, Turner Sports Esports Organization. Oh, and E-League. There's a lot of commas in here, and I'm getting confused. E-League and BuzzFeed Multiplayer. E-League is Turner Sports Esports Organization. It's going to be over the course of 4 episodes. They'll compete for $100,000 in prizes for playing The Sims, completing challenges, showcasing their creativity and storytelling in The Sims. So if you've been playing The Sims and you are a Sims expert and creator, now is your time, apparently. So, I'd be really interested to see, because like you're watching this thing, and other than them like kind of like presenting things, like there's just a lot of them sitting around the computer creating their sim. It looked like. So I'm curious to see kind of how this comes together. And of course, there's a lot of the reveal, and everybody's running for some reason at some point. I don't know. There's no context. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What other games could they? What's that?
It reminds me of the Lego show that they had. Was it like last fall?
I haven't watched that. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched a few episodes of that where they had to create their own stories. Like they gave them a very vague idea, and then they had to create like huge structures and tell the story, just by looking at it, like what was going on, bad guys, good guys, this stuff's happening. And
jeez. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. It's going to air TBS Fridays at 11, and it'll be on BuzzFeed Multiplayer the following Monday. Wow. There you go. I feel like is The Sims as big as it has been, or like I don't, maybe it's just not talked about as much. It's just kind of a thing that's always been there and has been there forever, like World of Warcraft, right?
Well, those have made a huge resurgence with the, we've all been stuck at home, so everybody's deep dive back into Sims. Because remember, like week 1 of when we were, back in our houses, so you can get Sims for like $5 or $10. Like it was so ridiculous. They marked all those down, so people definitely have gotten right back in. This is the perfect time for this to happen, actually. Yeah.
There you go. And also anybody that doesn't have a Nintendo Switch, because everybody's got access to The Sims somehow, right? I mean. The life-size Gundam will be completed outside of Japan in 2021. Yay! Because only Japan. I've been watching a lot of New Japan this week too, so I'm completing the Japan mindset. Yeah, it's going to be. It's in the works. It's none of us can get to Japan right now to see it. It will debut. According to Bandai Namco, it's a 59-foot Freedom Gundam statue that will be at the Laporte Mall in Jinqiao, Shanghai. China. Oh, it's the first one outside of Japan, which means there's a bunch of these in Japan already. So, wait, where did that? I don't even know what part of China I was in when I stopped over. That must have been Beijing. So there you go. More Gundams around the world. Jeez.
So it'll be up by next year, right?
Yeah.
In time for the Olympics.
Yes. Wait, but in China, not Japan.
Well,
and Nintendo World did not open because they don't want people coming in over coming in to Universal Studios Japan, apparently. So there's that. Oh boy. Katie, what's going on with TikTok? Apparently people were concerned about it lately.
Yeah, Amazon, I think it was last week, was asking their employees to not have TikTok on their phones that they brought into work, and now the Democratic and Republican, like if you're working on any of the campaigns, they're asking you to not use the device that you're using when you're around other people talking about these campaigns for TikTok. They want you to use a separate device because they feel that TikTok is mining data and stealing information. And China, the folks behind TikTok are like, nah, we're all good. We're not doing anything. We promise. And I don't know. It's hard to tell because who do you believe?
So from what I've been hearing, it sounds like, yes, their parent company is a Chinese company. And they have an American office, and it's run by somebody that used to work at Walt Disney, I think it was. So you could take that, and they've been making pains to start separating that, and there may be some rules put in place to make them separate more from that. Also, they're being swept up in this idea. LinkedIn got caught with it. A few other apps got caught with it in the last couple of weeks about this thing where apps were consistently reading your clipboard on your phone. So if you copy and pasted anything and didn't go over to LinkedIn, it could still potentially read that. And that can, of course, include passwords, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of it feels like they got caught with a bunch of things that a bunch of other people got caught with, but the underlining China fear, nobody knows for sure, but there's enough for people to be uncomfortable with it in certain positions. Wells Fargo also released a similar thing in the last week about, please don't use it on your phones. I think that was the one that was also, by the way, none of you should be on TikTok on your phones during company time to begin with. So Katie, one of the people we work with, the Fight Underground, just started their TikTok. They're not a corporate entity, but it's professional wrestling, of course. But as a social media person, like, how do you see maybe A, this affecting TikTok, or B, like, how do you, as a business person who needs to be on TikTok, let's say, need to kind of contend with this?
Well, I don't think TikTok's going anywhere for a while.
No.
Because they just introduced ads. So you're able to buy ads essentially for TikTok, which is kind of a recent development. And if you're looking at the views on these videos, they're monstrous. And people have millions and millions of followers and views on all their videos. And it's such an easy platform to get sucked into. And it's such an easy platform to make short, compelling videos for, especially if you're a business. Like, you're not doing I've seen some things on TikTok that are just phenomenal, and tricks with the camera and such, but like, you can get away with doing a very short video, which might not, a few seconds, there you go, you put it out there, you do some editing, ta-da, and it's all within this very easy to use platform, because you get a lot of age groups using TikTok without any issues, because it's a very easy platform to use, especially with their editing tools built into the app. So I don't see it going anywhere for at least a little while, until maybe something else replaces it.
It's been really oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's been really impressive because our friend the Rev Ron Hunt, another wrestler / actually news person over in Dayton, Ohio, he started a TikTok account months ago, and it's just exploded on there. Even recently, that Fight Underground started theirs, and it already had like 400 followers, I think it said. So like there's I can't remember her name. I just followed her the other day that somebody had brought up, but there's a comedian, Sarah something, but I remember Sarah CPR is one of her usernames, but I don't think on TikTok. She started a thing where she was lip syncing speeches by Donald Trump. And it just blew up. And she had some BS. Like, she was on Fallon talking about her ridiculous TikTok handle that doesn't make, which is like, what's that?
It's Sarah Cooper's.
Sarah Cooper, thank you.
I knew you were talking about.
I went down the rabbit hole watching all her videos one night, so a couple of nights ago. But again, she like her username was something like "Show me what you got." That has nothing to do with anything. And she's like, I don't know, just playing with TikTok. And then all of a sudden, like, I got 1 million followers. So, but kind of, it's like, it's too easy. It seems too easy and stupid when you get into it in that fashion, like she probably did, right? And then you hit on something and it just goes crazy. So, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what to do on there. So I'm not dancing, that's for sure. So.
Well, like, the thing is if you're not worried about the conversations you're having around Facebook and then it's showing up as an ad, which is happening to all of us, I think, a lot more frequently. I don't know if you have noticed that, but there's been a lot more conversations I've had near my phone that I haven't been searching for, have been appearing in ads. Like, if you don't have an issue with that, but you have an issue with, There's a lot of things happening in social media that we should be concerned.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and between tracker apps and being like, well, are you okay? You're not okay with this tracker app, but you have Facebook. Having Facebook on your phone kind of disqualifies almost every conversation about it. The dog is concerned about it. I should throw a mic on for him over there. I'm sure you guys can hear him in the background. He is really pissed about personal privacy. My dog doesn't have a phone. He deleted Facebook. He's good to go. I think he still has an Instagram account though. But anyways.
Which is of course owned by Facebook.
Which is owned by Facebook now, yes. Yeah. So
well, I kind of wondered, the same people are up in arms about TikTok. Do they have the same policy with Lenovo laptops?
Lenovo?
Lenovo, yeah, English second language, yeah. Because they're a Chinese company now. They used to be IBM, got spun off. They're 100% Chinese
and
owned.
Got caught putting malware software on their laptops. By the way, I am currently surrounded by Lenovo computers right now for this production and my MacBook. But so that shows you where I stand. But I bought mine before this came out, but they're fine machines. I'm
not saying anything about the machines. I'm just saying it's the double standard.
Oh yeah,
annoys me. Just like because it is, and honestly, like you said, with the political campaigns, I understand why they're paranoid, and they should be paranoid.
I think TikTok was also responsible for a certain political campaign issue in Tulsa a few weeks ago too, so that may have a little bit for some of this jargon to be happening too. Maybe. So hypothetically, not to get into that, but just kind of look at it full on. But it's I try to take TikTok away from a teenager. It's gonna be interesting. So I think TikTok's gonna make whatever moves it needs to continue, because it's kind of it's kind of at a too big to fail point, unless they're getting looked at the way Amazon and Google would be these days, right? So
the tipping point was when we all stayed at home. We were all at home, so the Gen Xers, the Gen Z, we had all these age groups that weren't on TikTok before because it was so young. And now there's an over 30 crowd, an over 40 crowd, an over 50 crowd, over 60 crowd on TikTok. So it's like blowing up.
That's where it is. Maybe they got bought. What if they got bought by Facebook? Would you feel better about that? I don't think they could at this point. I think regulators would go nuts about that right now. So, but anyways, God, I still don't spend any time on TikTok. I just can't get it. When I do, I lose too much time. But it's got to be better than the doom scrolling I'm doing on other platforms. So, anyways, enough about that.
Honestly, where I see I see TikTok more because people put stuff on TikTok, then put it also on their Twitter.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the only reason I know it's from TikTok, is because of the little logo on the bottom.
Well, and so
as long as you're sharing it that way, honestly, I'd rather not. I don't go on TikTok because the people I want to follow are also sharing it other places.
Right. The TikTok compilations on YouTube are a great thing. I got pissed because I was using my Instagram last week, like TikTok, that I started putting music into stuff, and then I can't share it anywhere else with the music. Like TikTok, you can carry the music over into the video, but Instagram says no, that's going to be only in Instagram. Here's your video without any sound. It's like, thanks. And TikTok has nice stuff where I pulled up a Tom Petty song because my dog was running, so it was like my dog running down a dream, and it pulls up the lyrics, and I was like, well, this doesn't make sense if I do anything else with it. So I'm sure it's a music rights issue that they have going on. Facebook's always been weird about music rights. So Dave Podnar, thank you so much for joining us again.
No problem. Thanks so much for having me, Sorg.
Please plug your stuff.
Sure. My photography stuff's on Instagram, and it's only my photography stuff as Prof Pod. General screaming at the world, including and some photography stuff added in on Twitter also as Prof Pod.
I've seen the screaming, yes.
Yes. Well, it's better than screaming in the house.
It scares the pets.
Both of us in the house. Well, not only that, both of us in the house are screaming about the exact same thing. Cattail. You can find the podcast Tiny Shutter on tinyshutter.com. We're recently starting to do a little change where we're not only doing the audio, but because we're using Zoom, starting to put it out on YouTube as smaller clips.
There you go.
And fearless leader Mark Sadowski's working on taking the video and clipping it off and putting it up there.
There you go. Awesome. Katie, where can people keep up with you?
Kate Marie PGH on Instagram, pretty much. I've been on Twitter a smidgy bit more. Kate Utters on Twitter. Facebook, meh, here and there. It's not as much fun as Instagram. I am quite the lurker on TikTok, but I have not posted anything myself because I don't know what my niche is.
Well, remember, you did start Instagram just posting porta potties. Photos. So I mean, what's the TikTok equivalent to porta potty? It's gotta be so fun for anybody that like. I don't know how many people would do this, but anybody just kind of goes down an entire like thing on somebody's profile, and then like all of a sudden there's this shift to to porta potties. Like what is this? Like this used to be a strange sight. Now,
yeah.
So. Oh, geez. Our Instagrams age with us, I guess. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat room on whatever platform you may be on. I see you guys across a couple of them here tonight, and including the Periscope and the Facebook. And my mom's out there. Hi, Mom. She's been getting better. So thank you, everybody. For funsies, I did get a COVID test on Friday. Still waiting and yes, I'm still waiting the results of that. But if you want a video of me sticking something up my nose, that is over on my personal accounts, Sorgatron on the Twitter, and my Instagram. I think I put it over there, and I kind of describe what the process is going through the drive-in at CVS. And also, I reposted my interview because I thought it was really worked out, really kind of connected. Our interview with the founder of the Novid app, COVID contact tracker. So please go check those out. Please, everybody, wear your masks. I don't care if it's legal, illegal, whatever that debate is. Just wear your damn mask because it's the thing to do to help everybody else out, okay? So we're just going to say that. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Have an awesome week. All right. Wrestling. We got a couple of guests coming up for there.